All right, Brandon, in this video, we're going to build off the videos we've already done with your pitching. And we talked about one of the strengths that you have, and that's your ability to deliver or rotate your torso very late in your delivery. And that's why you have some good velocity on your fastball. And then we talked about some areas where you need to improve. We talked about your posture and your hip load. And we also talked about getting your arms equal and opposite of each other at that foot strike position. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can get your arms, and when you break your arms, basically when are you supposed to break your hands in relationship to your feet. Because your lower half and your upper half must be in sync in order for you to use your weight properly and to create a whip motion with your arm. Okay, and so I began here with Tom Glavine because he's in a stretch position and he's going to do a slide step. And you're also in the stretch, and you can see here that you're doing a slide step. The first thing I want to talk about is the first move you have to make in the slide step position. And you're going to see it here with Tom Glavine. He's going to take this knee and load it towards his armpit, and then he's going to get his hips cocked. Watch right here as he goes forward. The knee loads towards the armpit, and as a result, the hips load. And so now what he's doing is he's leading with his butt cheek towards home plate. And if we take a look on the left-hand side with you, when you pick up your knee, you're going to notice here that there's really no knee load whatsoever. And because there's no knee load towards his armpit, you don't get a hip load. And now this is very important because when you rush this movement right here, now I understand you're trying to get to home plate quickly, but what's going to happen is when you rush this movement, you're compromising the rhythm between your hands and your feet. And you can see right here at this position, your hands have already broke. Whereas at Tom Glavine, his hands are still together in this knee lift position. So his hands are going to be more in rhythm with his lower half. That's principle number one. Load that knee towards the armpit so that you're leading with your butt cheek in a slide step. All right, now principle number two is when do we break our hands? Well, one of the things a pitcher wants to do is they want to be able to use their body to throw. Their arm is a byproduct of all the things they do with their body. So they want to deliver all their energy towards home plate and let their arm deliver last. So the feet are going to deliver the legs are going to deliver the hips will deliver the torso, and the last thing to come is going to be the arm. So what you're going to see here is when Glavine lifts his knee, he's going to shift weight towards home plate before he breaks these hands. Again, here he's into his knee lift, and watch him shift weight right there before he breaks his hands. And you're going to see him continue to shift weight, and now he's at the bottom of his arm circle. Now that's very important because that's what that's going to enable him to do is that's going to enable him to get both of these arms equally lined up when his foot hits the ground. So you can see because he broke later and let his weight shift first and then break his hands, when he gets this foot down right there, you can see that his arms are equally lined up. In other words, he's not going to have to throw with all arm because he's got his body weight going towards home plate. And the last thing that's going to be delivered to home plate is the arm, as you can see right there. And so that's going to relieve a lot of stress on the elbow and the shoulder, and it's also going to help you deliver with more command and balance. Now, if we take a look at you on the left-hand side, and we get you here, you're going to notice that you lift this knee and you break your hands before you deliver any weight. So, again, there is no weight shift before you break your hands. Instead, your weight is all back here, right? And your arms have already broke. And as a result, your arm's going to get to the slot too early. So you can see here, you're breaking and your arm is ahead of your feet. And so your arm right here is in the throwing slot before your foot has completely hit the ground. And you can see at this position you actually have equal and opposites at this point, but it's too early. You see, when Tom Glavine gets his foot down, his complete foot, as you can see right here, he has equal and opposite elbows. And that's simply because he didn't break his hands too early. And so because he has these equal and opposite elbows, he's going to be able to use his body more in his delivery. And his arm is simply going to be a byproduct of all the power he's created with his legs and his torso. But because you break early in your delivery, your arm is here, and now you have to land, but your arm's already coming. So there's not as much whip. And you're going to put more pressure and strain on your elbow and on your shoulder. All right? So to recap this video, we need to work on getting our hands, the break of our hands, more in sync with our feet. And the first thing that we do to be able to sync them up is this knee load, knee and hip load. And you can see the difference right here with you. No knee load, no hip load. The second thing we need to do is allow some of our weight to come forward towards home plate to lead with our butt or our hip before we break the hands, as you can see right there. And once you start to deliver weight, then, as you can see right here, the hands can break. You'll notice here that your hands have already broke. You're bringing weight late, and as a result, everything's back. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know.